with the regressive measures, that means emergency, what it entails. Because our leader, who's named as Mr. MK Stalin, his name is Mr. MK Stalin, named after the great Stalin from Russia. He's our leader, and he faced imprisonment for 1 year during the emergency.
So just 1 minute, there is a problem in the translation.
Yeah.
The microphone is not.
The microphone is not on. I'm sorry. We are listening here, but the translators cannot listen.
I switched it on now. Okay. Yeah. See, I have a great privilege to say that the name of our leader is Mr. MK Stalin. He was born in the year where Mr. Stalin from Russia died. So our great leader named him Mr. MK Stalin, and he has faced oppression like what he had done. He faced imprisonment for 1 year during the emergency, which was brought in by the then government of Congress in India. Right now in India, we are facing an undeclared emergency. See, if we have a declared emergency, we have no issues. We know whom to fight against. We know what is the authority, whom we can fight against. But when we have an undeclared emergency, it is very important that we identify that and fight that undeclared emergency. At this juncture, I would like to point out how the Prime Minister of India suddenly announced a scheme in November 8 last year. He said 85% of the currency is invalid. Can you believe this? All the money what you have in your hand is invalid. 85% of the currency. So the people became totally berserk. The money was not valid. What you can do, you can only go to the bank, and every day you can only get 2,000 rupees, value of 2,000 rupees or 3,000 rupees from the bank. Suddenly this created a great panic, and what did they do? They did not print enough new currencies. They said, you should go deposit, I'll give you 3 months time, go deposit all the money into the bank. He said this is for abolition of black money. But what did it do? 99% of the money came back to the system and destroyed the lives of all the poor traders, because they don't have credit cards, they don't have bank accounts, they never had digital transactions. The Prime Minister pushed this to ensure that there will be digital transactions. Who is going to be benefited by these digital transactions? It is only the crony capitalists. To top it all, the Prime Minister poses for an advertisement along with one of those crony capitalists in all the leading papers. This is the problem what we are facing in India. See, the problem is this: we have rule of law, we have a written constitution, we have freedom of expression. Everything is guaranteed. We are a model democracy. Does it mean that we are away? We have ridden off democracy and we are in an ideal society? No. We have to identify. The government now has clearly waged a battle against the poor and the oppressed. Yet another tool, as pointed out by the comrade from Indian National Congress. The problem is that of paid media. We call them paid media because they don't speak the truth. They don't speak the news. They dish out opinions in favor of the government. Why do they do that? Because they get advertisements. They get advertisement revenue out of it. For example, there was an independent media called NDTV. Of course, I'm not so sure about its independence, but still it was one media house which was critical about the government in India. Suddenly, when a critical information was released against the government, questions were raised against the move made by the government, their media house was raided. The CBI, the most prominent investigating agency, went and raided the offices. It sent a chilling effect to all the journalists. You keep asking questions, we will raid you. If raid is not going to bother you, it's not going to rattle you, we will kill you. That's what happened. A prominent journalist called Gauri Lankesh was murdered. This is what is happening in so. It is the duty of the youth to prove, to identify how to subvert this. Yes, fine, the media is paid, but we have the social media, so we can clearly express our opinion. We were rejoicing that social media turns out to be an independent opinion channel. But how this social media is again dominated? It is dominated by the trolls and fake news. Can you imagine the top ministers consistently tweet fake pictures of development in India? They take pictures from Russia, from America, the street lights. They say, this is what we have done for India. So this is again another form of emergency. And if any eminent personality from sports, music, arts, culture, anything, if they're going to say anything critical about the government, what happens is they are trolled viciously by people paid from the government. The government maintains a troll army. And most worrisome aspect is that the top ministers, the top people from the political party follow these trolls. They encourage them. They give out rape threats, death threats in Twitter. But what action has been taken against them? No action at all is being taken against them. So this is again another worrisome aspect. So the independent media, the social media, is also being occupied by this kind of emergency measures. So it is in the hands of the youth to identify this and fight this emergency. At this juncture, at this closure, I want to quote Dante Alighieri from Inferno. He said, "The hottest place in hell is reserved for those who remain neutral in times of grave moral crisis." Thank you.